Hey, world history classes. This is me, your favorite world history teacher this year anyway, Mr. Fisher. Welcome back. We're not actually back, but I'm making this video, and I went into the school today. I was going to use my Blackboard to do it, and I got caught up doing stuff and talking to people. I had a couple of meetings, online meetings, and and then they kind of rushed us out, so I couldn't stay there to do it. So I got creative, and I came here to this is my warehouse. I'll give you a tour later. But what I've done here, I've kind of recreated my whiteboard on a piece of cardboard. In fact, I just got it's the cardboards from paddleboards that I just got in this week from China. So it's Chinese paddleboard, or Chinese cardboard. And also I'm using this new tripod that I just got for Christmas. So I'm kind of excited about that. And this is, you know, I'm an old timer. You know, I've been around for a long time. This is my 32nd year in teaching, and for at least probably most of my teaching career, when I'd give notes, in other words, in college they call it lecturing, but when I'd give notes, I would do it on the whiteboard, and like every class was different. In other words, at the end of the class, I'd wipe it all off, and the next class I'd redo it all. So I'm really comfortable with it, and I think that the problem with these days, I think pretty much all classes, probably even college classes, I really don't know if colleges do this or not, but it's just that they project the notes on the board and you copy them down, right? In fact, if you can get away with it, if the teacher doesn't see the earbuds, you can listen to some tunes, right? Just as long as you don't bop and weave, because then that'll give you away. So are you really paying attention to the notes? I don't think as much as the way I used to do them, because this is what I call organic. What I mean by that is, you're working with it. It's a working document. You know, notes are not just something that you just do for an assignment, you turn in so you get your credit, and that's the end of that. Notes, if you do it right, they're a working document. It's something that by you, like sitting down and doing it, listening to the teacher, writing stuff down, not just copying exactly as it on the board, not adding any of your own information whatsoever. That's not really note-taking. That's just like copying stuff off the board. Real note-taking is where you're actually actively involved in writing stuff that is not in the lecture. In other words, maybe you have a question about something, write that off to the side. Maybe you put a little diagram in there, a little handwritten diagram, even if it's kind of crude. Because all these things, the whole purpose of notes is, by you doing them, you're more engaged in the lesson. And then and then on the day before the test, you can study the notes, you can go through the notes. I usually get to a point where I can look at notes, put them face down, and then try to remember all the key important details. So I'm going to do it the old school way. And here's what I'd like you to do. Get out a piece of paper, please, a regular piece of notebook paper or copy paper, doesn't matter, and a pen. I don't have here's a Sharpie, but a pen, a writing instrument, and actually write along with me. And I'm going to ask you to draw too. And here's the other thing. I'm going to give you the bare bones, basic information, and I want you to add stuff in. Okay, I'll give you some suggestions here and there, but I want you to be more than just copying down what the teacher tells you to copy down. I'd like you to be an active participant in this note session. So here you go. You ready? Okay, this topic, I'm moving my tripod. I'm going to flip it around in a minute. But this topic, as you know, it's World War I. And it's interesting that, you know, as teachers, we're always looking for teachable moments, we call it. You know, things in real life that kind of correspond to what we're learning in class. And as a history teacher, I'm always looking for that. Hang on, let me get that straight. Here we are talking about 1914 and 1918, as we're hunkering down like the world has never hunkered down since 1918. 1918 was they call it the Spanish flu pandemic, and that lesson I gave you last time, a couple weeks ago. And I didn't know that. The only thing we know for sure is that it did not start in Spain. Probably started in the U.S. I think there's a lot of evidence that says there's a bunch of troops from Kansas that went to Europe, and they had carried something with them. But either way, we call it the Spanish flu because all the other countries in Europe were embroiled in this battle like the world had never seen before. And they weren't releasing those details. They kind of, you know, in the middle of a war, you don't want to say, oh yeah, and we lost 50 million people due to this flu. So But Spain wasn't involved, and they did not. They went ahead and reported, and so I guess people came to the conclusion that Spain started it, but it didn't. So anyway, here we are in the middle of pandemic, and we're studying about World War One, which ended or concluded with the pandemic. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'm going to flip it around. Uh-oh. And on your old school piece of paper, oh man, can I not flip this around? Dude, I can't flip it around. I know I can flip it around, but I can't flip it around. Okay. Dang. That little icon is gone. Is that the icon? That's not the icon. Oh, that is a bummer. Psh. Huh. Can't flip it around. So I'm going to have to flip the phone around. I can't use my tripod. Great. Okay. So what I'd like you to do on your paper... Dang it. I've always been able to do that. What I'd like you to do is to draw this diagram. Okay? Now, is it important to draw it really artistically? And I have, what, about 8 or 10 sticks of dynamite there, so do you have to have 8 or 10? You know, that's up to you. But what it is important is that 4 of these have these this acronym. Okay, so go ahead and get your piece of paper and kind of sketch. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you sketch this out, and I'm going to turn... Oh, I can't. Well, I might turn it off. I think I will. I'll turn it off and get this figured out, and then we'll get back with it. So do you see that? You're drawing like a thing of dynamite, and also you're drawing a little match here, and all the fuses go into that match. But the key thing is MAIN. And might as well go ahead and give it the title World War One, and I think this is Unit 8. Let me see, 7, 8. Yeah, I believe it's Unit 8. So World War One, Unit 8. And then MAIN, and a bundle of dynamite and a match. Okay?